Congressman Gottheimer, let's talk a little bit about why you're doing this now, why you think that this should be part of the COVID-19 relief.
Well, as you know, people in my state, New Jersey, are really hurting right now. 30% of our small businesses have closed. Unemployment at 7.6%. People need more dollars in their pocket to get into our economy and get things moving. And let's face it, the last administration gutted the state and local tax deduction, and it was great for the red states and jacked up taxes for people in my district, where the average SALT deduction used to be in Bergen County, one of my counties, more than $24,000. So significantly raised taxes on middle-class families in my district. And so this is just about trying to get some tax cuts for folks right now who could really use the help.
Congressman Schweikert, I know you're opposed to this. Why don't you lay out your reasoning?
And look, it's perfectly rational if you're from New Jersey or New York to try to advocate for this. But we need to deal with the reality of the math. Almost all the value of this tax cut, as you might call it, or tax deduction, goes to the very, very, very top income earners. The top 1% gets 57% of its value. The top 20% gets, I think it is like 96% of the deduction. So if you're particularly a Democrat, you believe in a progressive tax system, this is not the tax you advocate for, because it concentrates its value to the very, very wealthy, our high income earners.
Congressman Gottheimer, what do you say to that? That's a pretty effective argument.
David, it's good to see you, and I would welcome you to come visit with me in New Jersey, northern New Jersey. Every one of my counties that I represent, including rural areas of the state of New Jersey, beautiful places, taxes went up. The average SALT deduction in the northern part of the state and real rural New Jersey, $14,000. So their taxes went up too. This is just about, frankly, helping out families in a tough time and getting them back what the red states stole from us a couple years ago. And listen, it was great for them. If you're a moocher state, like, the state of Arizona, you get $2 back for every dollar you send to the federal government. Jersey, we're getting about 75 cents back for every dollar we send. You look at Louisiana, they get half their state budget from the federal government every single year. So I know he's saying it's a Democrat issue, but this is really a moocher issue. And some states have made away like bandits, and good for them. Now it's time we actually remind people that who pays the taxes, who pays their bills, and we get some relief back in the places that are actually paying for a lot of what happens in Arizona and these other states. And I just think that's the right thing to do, and it's time to stand up to the moochers here.
Congressman Schweikert, are you a moocher?
This is always the fun with math. And the reality of it is, if my friend here is now objecting to a progressive tax system, fine, let's have a conversation. But if you live in a spot like New Jersey, where with a substantial amount of high income earners in a progressive tax system, they're paying more taxes. If you're from a state, I'm blessed to be from the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. Wonderful area. You should come out during the winter. We'd love to have your sales tax money. But the reality of it is, if you don't have as many high tax or high income earners, you're not paying that top end of the federal income tax. Therefore, that moocher comment is a little absurd when you understand you're blessed to have a concentration of high income earners. The state and local income tax isn't the path if you really, really want to help working families, because let's call it the bottom 80% of income earners only get 4% of the value of that tax deduction. So if the goal is to help working families in the New Yorks and New Jerseys and Connecticut's, even California's, looking at state and local tax deductibility isn't the proper approach. There may be other things we could do that would be dramatically better targeted and more effective, and not ultimately move the vast substantial value of the deduction to the very, very, very high income earners.
I would just say back that again.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Please go ahead. I was just going to say a supermajority of taxpayers, again, of middle-class families in my district, are paying more taxes because they gutted SALT. All I'm asking for is to end double taxation, which the reason we did this for 104 years is because it makes no sense to pay on the same tax dollars twice. And again, I'm very happy to make the deal, David. If he wants, if you agree not to take a penny more than you put into the federal government, I'll make that deal now. and we'll get back. Our numbers will go up in terms of what we get back in New Jersey. We'll be able to put those dollars to our roads and bridges and tunnels and other things of dollars that go to your district. And I'm fine to make that swap if you want.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.